Really looking forward to this one. I'm really looking forward to this one. Now, you've heard me mention a few times Sheria as my favourite hiking trail here in the UAE, maybe anywhere on earth indeed. Well, I'm here now, so let's get started straight away. First things first, the drive in is a little bit rugged. However, I have seen normal cars here, and so you can make it by normal car, but it's kind of a jeep trail. And there's a couple of ways in. It's marked on Google Maps. I'll put the link in the description. It's marked on Google Maps as Ain Al Sheria. Let's just go into the shade for a second. Ain Al Sheria trail parking. But as I say, I'll put the link in the description. Right then, I've actually done this several times. This was one of the first kind of big hiking trails in the UAE. It was opened about 4 or 5 years ago. Sheria Adventures opened it. And it's right up in the north in Toyen, in that area. And I've done this, I'm going to say 3 or 4 times, but I've never actually completed it. I've been all the way around, but I've never completed the exact hiking trail. Now, there used to be an original start on the other side. I'll show you what I'm seeing here. On the other side of that mountain, I can actually see the moon. On the other side of that mountain was the original start of the natural spring that's been, well, we'll see it in about half an hour or an hour or so. So you walked all the way around. What made it, whoops, be careful, Dave. What made it my favourite hiking trail was an accumulation of several things. There's a very, very challenging, tough climb to get to the top over on the other side. So that's a good one. It's very interesting. It was the first time I saw the use of kind of the stone towers as marking the trail, so I found that interesting. There's lots and lots and lots of different stones. This is actually known as the Geological trail, and I've written about this for a newspaper. So there's loads of different stones, different colours. Wadi Gub, which is a very famous hiking trail just on the other side of these mountains, that's sort of Rainbow Valley. So to give you an idea of the colours of the stones, that's not too far from here. Hard climbs, interesting trails, lots of colour stones, spectacular views. And then the jewel in the crown of this one is the biggest petroglyph that there is, certainly as far as I know, in the UAE. So there's the writing on the big piece of limestone, and we'll see that about 3/4, if not a little bit more, round. Now, I mentioned before that I'd not completed this trail. I've been around a couple of times, and I actually came to here and then got lost. And I went up there. I remember going up there, going there. And there was no logic in the world said to turn right. Luckily, they have put a sign up now. So they have put a hiking trail sign up, because what I then had to do was go all the way back down to the jeep trail and walk all the way around. So I did attempt to complete this one, but failed, but kind of completed it another way. When it was first made, you had to go on the jeep trail to finish off. And it was still the best hiking trail. But now they've completed this bit. Oh, what an idiot. I'm about to say, I'll also put the Garmin on. So many things to think about. Well, nothing to think about, to be honest. Right then, so I've not been up here before, and I do like it. The hike and the climb itself is going to take me several hours. That's what I can say. There's a goat here. Hello. Meh. I wish I could do a goat sound. There he is. You show me the way. Where are we going? We're going to follow you, please. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward then. From the car park area. Okay, let me tell you a little bit about the car park. It's quite steep already, this. So from the car park, which is marked on Google Maps, it's the first time I've driven there. As I say, I used to park on the other side. And when it says car parking, look here. So we've got an old fortification. I know it's a long hike, so we haven't got too much time to go and do extra things. So your car park, don't expect it to be a multi-storey, Dubai Mall, air-conditioned, somebody coming along and offering to clean your car for you whilst you're hiking. When it says car park, it's just basically the side of a road, a jeep trail. And I didn't recognise it. Luckily, I could see the flagpole, which is right where I'm parked now. So look for that as your point of attack. So from the car park to here, it's been pretty straightforward, thanks to that sign. And we'll see in a few hours if this lives up to my expectations and is as good as I remember it. But certainly straight out in the box now, it is definitely. And this edition is brilliant. About 15 minutes in with the adjustment for starting the watch late, and it was quite steep coming out of the wadi down by the irrigation of the trees and that sign. But I can tell you now, without rose-tinted glasses, pure objectivity, the trail is absolutely brilliant. The climb out, already the scenery and the views are what I remember. The colours, the reds and the blues and the greens, and all sorts of other colours in between, greys, and I'll tell you about that a bit more as we get going. And absolutely, I love it. I forgot to mention as well the practical advice. Don't be thinking that McDonald's have got an outlet at the car park at the beginning. There are no facilities, no amenities there. So come completely self-sufficient, and I'll tell you the details of how long the entire walk. As I mentioned, I'm sure it's going to be in excess of 2 hours, but I'm not going to hang it around. And I love it. This is already as good as I remember it. Will it still be number one by the time I finish at the end of the day? We're like 40 minutes into the Ain al Sheria hiking trail hike, and I'm almost in effect back to the start. But as I said before, these are very sharp, watch out. But as I said before, this is not, that's the start. I remember them building this here. Let's go up here. And you can actually go down the steps and have a swim in there, but I've seen that beautiful, crystal clear, inviting you to go in. But I'm afraid to say that's not calling me very much right now. That's saying stay out in actual fact. So, yeah, I'm back to the old start. 40 minutes, I've climbed and descended about 150 metres in altitude. So it's not been easy. It's been great though, it's lovely. And this has been developed a lot since I was here before. That was there but smaller, all these little areas. If I'm being honest, I don't remember this bridge because, that was right, we had to jump across, didn't we? We had to jump. Oh, to be honest, my grandma can do this one. There's lots of water in here, so my grandma can do this one. So after all that fun and games, let me just show you what's in there actually, because there's me talking about it. There's some steps there. There's actually a natural spring, flows all the way along. And there are some steps to go down there, and that's drinkable. That's potable, drinkable. And who knows for how many centuries, how many thousands, how many millennia people have been drinking out of there. Because we're going to see a rock carving, a petroglyph up here, rock writing, not rock carving, rock writing, and it's been dated to about 3,000 years ago. So it would make sense that whoever did the writing up here had themselves a little drink down here beforehand. So, yeah. It's a case of go up now, onwards and definitely upwards. There's a couple of, just let me tell you, so when you, on that trail out to the car park, basically once you get going, once you climb to the top, you then traverse along the edge of the mountain, and there is a trail that comes in from the left hand side, and that was the old trail. I didn't put the camera on to show you, The best way to describe it really is the trail keeps going forward or take a right if there's any uncertainty. And then when you come in right at the end, there's a lot of farms and you follow the stone towers and the farms will be on your left-hand side. Look at this. This is why it's called the Geological Trail. The Geological Trail, Ain al Sheria. The climb out from the watering hole is just lovely. Plenty of shade, lots and lots of different stones now. And you know you're going the right way because you see a lot. Stone towers or stones that have no earthly reason to be where they are. Just say, for instance, that there is not there by luck. Thank you, whoever's put it there for me or for us. Actually, I've put quite a few of these up over the years. I'm going to say at least 6 or 7 up this trail alone. Just keep plodding yourself up. There's plenty of quartz here. Look. Oh, that's a leaf. There's loads of white and quartz and see what you're looking for. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think I found a good one. Let's have a look. Let's get into the sunlight. Oh yeah, found a good one. You see what you're looking for. I don't know if you see it on the camera. Inside, you'll see the quartz crystal. You see the shape of that one inside the quartz there. So with this, not much work, that will come apart. And that'll make a very nice piece of quartz. Obviously, I'm sure there's some rule that says you must take only memories, leave only footprints. And in that same vein of thought, very clever there, vein of rock of course, take only memories, leave only footprints, leave only rocks, take your rubbish, all that other stuff. So there's no way I'm taking this home, no way. Absolutely no way, that's going in my pocket. No way. Yeah, you'll notice that all these trees here are all sort of missing fruit from the bottom 1.5 meters of the tree, and that's because the goats will eat all the lower fruit and they can only reach up to a certain point. And so unfortunately they have to leave this fruit and devour all the stuff lower down. Happens in the royal parks in London, in Richmond Park and Bushy Park, where the deer will stand up on their hind legs and eat all the foliage, prune the trees to a perfect level. It looks like somebody's done it with an electric saw. But anyway, nearly at the top, and then it's all downhill. Spectacular views, and of course we got what's called Cargale, which is the biggest petroglyph in the country, as far as I know. I said just a few seconds ago, a couple of minutes ago maximum, we're nearly at the top, and I was right. I remembered this absolutely vividly. Now I've only been on the route, what is in effect clockwise. You could do it counterclockwise, and I don't see it being any better or worse, to be honest. It's just the way I've always done it. Yeah, I love it. I really do. So I'm at the highest point now. Over there is the big petroglyph. I can see it. You won't see it on the camera. But to get to it, we're going to go all the way around. But you won't hear me complaining about this. I can see where the route traverses around. Wonderful. The hard work's really done. It's not that hard either. It's meant to be a bit hard. If it was easy, everybody would do it, wouldn't it? I'm the only one out here. So I would say total walking time, I'll put all the stats in the description, but I could get around this in 2 hours, I'm certain. It's getting quite warm now, as you UAE citizens, residents, visitors, whoever you are, you will know what I talk about when I say It's getting quite warm. Today there's a slight breeze, but luckily I'm only looking at, I'd have to look at the watch, but I can't be bothered. I'm going to guess 34, low 30s, yeah. Looking forward to the summer and those mid-50s, bang, bring it on. I'm going to be exploring and filming all year. I do it anyway, so it's just a case of taking this camera out. So it's a great opportunity for me to say, please subscribe so you don't miss out on any content. And I've got some very, very interesting films coming, really interesting. So I won't tell you now because that will make this film longer. And I'm going to try and make the films shorter for lots of reasons. I don't want this to become some sort of chore of me editing videos afterwards. And I'm not sure you watch them all anyway. I bet you do. I bet you do. So anyway, Ain Al Sheria Geological Trail, super, super duper. It certainly is as good as I remember it, and in some ways better. It's stood the test of time, and I still have the best bit to come yet. Right, here we are at Geological, spelt Golf Hotel Alpha Romeo, Kilo Hotel Alpha Indigo Lima, Geological. And it's a giant petroglyph. It's about 3,000 years, well, the rock's obviously millions of years old, but the actual writing on the rock, petro is to do with petros, to do with rock, and glyph, hieroglyphics, glyphics is to do with the writing. So rock writing. And that's a piece of limestone. It's actually, the colour that you see, the light colour, where they've been writing and drawing, that's the colour of the rock. The outside of the rock obviously has been baked in the sun over countless millennia, over countless years, and it's become darker on the outside. But if we were to go right into the centre of that rock, it'd be the lighter sort of brown colour that you can see. It's quite extraordinary. The fence has actually come down here. I'm going to have an attempt to put the fence back because some idiots, and I tell you what, I won't be held responsible for what I do to anybody. It's actually, some people have written on there themselves. What sort of idiot would do something like that? Honestly, that upsets me. I'm going to count to 10. I'm going to put this, actually it's a bit disintegrated, that might be what's falling down. But let's see if we can put this back together. I don't want any scorpions to be in here. I wonder why they picked this rock. Now, it must have fallen down from up there, mustn't it? There's the big, similar sort of size rocks. I bet there's some petroglyphs up there if you went exploring. But I suppose an obvious reason why they were writing on this rock and not other rocks around, if you look where we are right now, I'm only surmising here, by the way, everything, sun, 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 sun. But because there's this very pointed rock here, I mean, this is mid-afternoon, we're in the shade here, sun, sun, sun everywhere. But here, lovely and shaded. I bet this is where they came to have their dinner in the evenings, or camp out, or live, or whatever. But there's definitely a reason, and it's a long way to get up here. Also, what I've noticed is there's kind of petroglyphs up to about where someone can write with their hands or carve. And they might have stood on some stones, mightn't they, to be a little bit taller. But there's an obvious stop where they are. I can see all sorts. I can see, looks like a donkey or a goat. I can see the sun. I can see a cross. I can see a horse. I can see a four-legged animal. See a sun there again. How interesting. I love this sort of stuff anyway. Geological, Geharkhail, Geological, the giant petroglyph on Ain Al Sheria Geological Trail. You've got to get up here and see it. That's worth the journey alone, isn't it? How many times can you say you've seen something like that? On the way down now, walk is nearly over. The clock's been running about 2 hours, 30 minutes. I have spent a lot of time doing things that you don't necessarily have to do on this hike, like rebuild the rope fence and take video and look for stones and jump across streams. You don't need to do that. So, as I say, I think this is about a 2-hour hike if you really knuckle down and get on with it. It's going to take me 2 hours, 45 minutes. I can see the end. Let me show you what I'm seeing. It's a lovely walk down from the petroglyph. Lovely. Been in a lot of shade. You could actually just go from the car park up to the petroglyph and back down again if you didn't want to do the whole hiking trail. I mean, it's still a long way up there. I've been walking down constantly for well over 1 kilometre now, I would suggest. So it's still a good hike up. It's lovely. Yeah, it's lovely. So I can see the end. Lots of birds flying around below me. And I'm back. Exactly 7 kilometres walking. Exactly 6.99 to here. And as I say, 2.5 hours moving time. 3.5 hours in total with plenty of rests for you guys. Just take your time. It's been an absolutely wonderful hike. I've really enjoyed it. I'd certainly do it again, no doubt about it. I mean, it's actually the perfect time to start now. Absolutely beautiful weather. I'll say it one last time. My favourite hiking trail in the whole UAE. Ain Al Sheria, the Geological Trail, and Cargill Petroglyph. It's wonderful. I'll put all the information in the description. Thanks very much for joining me today. See you soon. Subscribe, like, notifications. You know the drill. Thanks very much. See you out there exploring sometime. Take care, explorers.